motherfucker sitting in my phone again. I'm mad.
Hello and welcome to the Circle Jerk Podcast. I'm your host, BJ.
And I'm your co-host, JK. Welcome to another Circle Jerk. Today, we're bringing you an episode where we're going to talk about Nike. And
Have you seen this Nike ad?
Yeah, dude, there's a whole array of them. I think my favorite thing that's come out of this Nike thing is the memes that's come from it. There's some fucking hilarious ones.
Yeah, the one with...
There's one with Dwight Schrute, which I fucking love.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
It was a really funny one.
I saw the one with Stephen A.
Stephen A? What was that one?
It was just like a picture of his face.
Really?
It wasn't great.
So like this is the Dwight one. It's a photo of Dwight looking super smug.
Do something, I think, would an idiot do that? And if they would, I do not do that thing. Yeah, that's classic.
And then obviously, if you're not privy, the Nike controversy is that they're using Kaepernick as their to lead their ad campaign, and their main ad one that they're doing is a photo of him, black and white, and it says "Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything." Obviously, is what it is. And then there's a meme, also a really good one from The Late Show, from Colbert, where it's Trump's face, looking real smug. It says, "Believe in something, even if you just made it up," which is pretty funny. But anyways, enough of the memes. Now, the controversy becomes because Kaepernick obviously has been ousted from the NFL, indirectly or directly, because of his form of protesting. Now, Nike had decided to get on board with him, which is the first major company to actually support this campaign, this individual. In
this way, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think
to make him the face of their campaign, like, that's huge.
It's a big move by Nike. Obviously, it works perfectly with the slogan, "Just do it." I mean, they killed it on a marketing advertising sense.
Well, because look, I mean, I don't think Kaepernick is a star-studded QB, but he's definitely good enough to be somewhere on an NFL roster. Absolutely. Like 100%, you're looking at the likes of fucking Josh McCown's in the NFL,
well,
and this guy's not.
Be that as it may, he's definitely not getting back in the league now.
No, he's probably making a killing from this shit, and I think.
Well, that's fine if he's in it to make the money. Then whatever.
Well, I don't think it's ever been about the money for him, because he could have totally just abandoned his cause and started standing. And he would have never been kicked off the team. He would never have had. Well, he didn't kick off the team.
Who knows if he would have been if he would have stayed in the league? He had dropped off his play from when he was the Super Bowl contending quarterback. Mm. It's not like he was the set starter there. Alex Smith had come into San Francisco. Yeah. But I mean, what do you think about this ad? Do you think it's? I mean, I think it's a little bit hypocritical of Nike to care about social issues when they affect customers and not the laborers in Asia that are.
That's what marketing is, though. Like, just to use an analogy, like with Starbucks, they had an ad marketing campaign where like, oh, we're gonna get rid of fucking straws, and and it's all about the environment. It's social issue. It's like, fuck you, assholes. No, it's not. You figured out that you could save money by only producing lids, as opposed to having two lines producing straws and lids. And so what they do is they go, we can cut costs and we can make it a social issue. That's exactly what Nike have done, perhaps a little differently, but they're saying, look, we can push our shoes, and make it about a social issue that people will like the response of. And so I think hypocritical, perhaps, but that's what these large corporations do. It was fucking risky, because I think you could definitely agree that most Republicans think Kaepernick's a piece of scum, and most liberals think Kaepernick's a hero.
Well, I don't think this is about a bipartisan issue here. A partisan issue. I think it's more that it's a stance. It's taking a stance on the issue, which is gonna isolate you from half of your market.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a risky move by Nike. They've probably gained a lot of supporters. They've probably lost a lot of supporters. They've isolated people.
And so and that's interesting to say that, to give you some sort of background on it, right? Statistically, according to the super reliable, newspaper called People.com, they've quoted that Nike sales have increased 31% after the controversial Colin Kaepernick ad debuted, right? That's pretty significant. You're talking about from like Labor Day to now, they've increased 17%. Like, that's overall. And then they had said 31 from when this article came out last week until today. They've gone up 30 since then, 31 overall since then. And that's huge for a company of even Nike size. Think about the revenue that they produce by adding 31% to what they already make. I mean, they're paying those little Taiwanese boys and girls like 3 cents an hour for these shoes. You know, and that's another argument that people are making. It's like, okay, if Nike really wants to make this about social issues, why don't we talk about the cheap labor that they outsource to make these fucking $150 shoes?
What did you even make of Kaepernick's kneeling during the anthem? What did you think of that?
I think that he was kneeling for a really righteous and important cause, being as being half black as you are, I'm sure you can relate to this. Is that he was kneeling to promote gain attention for the movement of fighting black oppression, police brutality, Black Lives Matter, and I think it was a really important movement that he was bringing attention to. That in 2018, a lot of people go, "Oh, it's fixed," and it's not fixed. But I really don't like the way he's doing it, and personally, I don't give a fuck that he knelt during the anthem. He's not. I think it's American to allow somebody to kneel during the anthem. You do whatever you want. You protest however you want. It's free speech. But he gained so much negative attention, and then by doing so, his movement was forgotten. Like, nobody talks about Black Lives Matter and the black oppression that he was protesting against. All they do is talk about the fucking national anthem. I think what he should have done is he should have used his wealth and platform to, pursue his beliefs in a much more bipartisan way that didn't piss off half the country.
No, I disagree completely. That's how can he have made his stance? How can he have taken his stance without doing it on this platform of being an NFL player? I mean, that is bringing light to the whole issue. People deflecting it to being about the flag or respecting our troops or whatever. They're just blowhards. They're hiding behind their own patriotism to avoid a confrontation that this country needs.
The problem for me is he's doing it on the job. He's getting paid. He's getting paid to do it. And I think, but I'm not even, like I said, I'm not even that bothered that he's kneeling during the anthem. Like, you do you, bro. But what I am annoyed about is that he did it in such a way that garnered such negative attention. So now all of a sudden, all the articles are talking about like his actions, not his message, and the message is what we're trying to get out there.
I mean, I don't agree with everything that he did. I think, for example, when he wore the socks that had the pigs that were dressed as police officers.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
He voiced his support for Fidel Castro. It's like, I think he can come off a bit arrogant.
Let's not forget who we're talking about. He's a fucking college football player gone pro. He's not like a politician. He's not the brightest guy out there. And so like some of the stuff he's done is fucking moronic. Like I just said, he's garnering negative attention around a really important message. Therefore, people aren't paying attention to his message. And what does he do? He antagonizes them by wearing socks with pigs on dressed as cops. Like, come on.
I don't think that there's any way that he could have brought this attention to this subject without doing it in a negative. There is no positive way that you can protest social injustice.
Well, I'll tell you who has benefited the most from this is Nike. Like, black people are still oppressed.
They have seized a huge
Police are still brutalizing African Americans. Kaepernick is still out of the NFL. The NFL lost serious viewership last year. And whether that is related to this, or it might just be a coincidence, but who knows? Regardless, they are. But Nike, their sales are up significantly. However, if you look at Breitbart, who are, again, super reliable, almost as reliable as the People.com, they say that Nike's popularity has down 34% since the ad campaign. And so let's just assume, for the sake of argument, that the People's number of 31% increase in sales and the decrease in popularity of 34% are synonymous or both true. It's sort of like they've lost popularity but gained money. What other marketing campaign can you fucking do that without? That's so clever.
Only with something like this. Is it clever if you lose 34% of your popularity?
It's at the end of the day, it's all about money. And
sales are short term though. Sales are fleeting.
But perhaps
brand reputation is forever.
But perhaps as those 34% of people who jump ship, perhaps the people who are left over become even more devout. And instead of buying, a Nike, Adidas, Reebok shoe, they only buy Nike. I mean, time will tell. We'll see how Nike shares and all that do. But I think the most important thing of this is Nike are not some sort of amazing saving grace. They're a fucking company who are seizing an opportunity to make more money, and it's all about them. They're the only ones who benefited from this anthem bullshit.
And that is the real motherfucking truth.
All right, guys. This has been JK.
By the time you hear the next pop, the funk shall be within you.
Now when the game got the whole world talking King Kobe. Everybody
And this was BJ. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week.
Which way you and I was walking.